So in this video, we're going to be talking about NFTs and what their value is and how to evaluate them and how to wrap your head around it. Because in the beginning, just coming into the space, it could be very, very confusing. Like you're looking at these JPEGs and you could basically, people are spending hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars on them on the high end. On the low end, they're spending hundreds of dollars and thousands of dollars. And it's hard to determine what the value is. Is it just about the art? Is there something else that we're not seeing here? And so that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to show you what the value is. And foremost, what is an NFT? So NFT stands for non-fungible token. And essentially what this is a way for people to have digital assets on the blockchain. This is the first time we've been able to do that. And that's very, very important. Until now, you couldn't really own or prove ownership of a digital asset. So for example, if you owned a unique piece of digital art, it was hard for you to be the only owner of it because you couldn't verify ownership. As soon as you created it and sold it or shared it with someone, they can just copy and paste it. But now for the first time, you can put it on the blockchain and we know that such and such address owns this piece of digital art. And it's not just digital art, it's really just digital information. So any kind of digital asset can go on the blockchain. And there's a fundamental difference here between fungible and non-fungible. So something that's fungible means that whether you have it or I have it makes no difference. So for example, like the dollar in your pocket is the same value as the dollar in my pocket. And we can exchange them. And there's no difference in terms of the value. It's like $1 still worth $1. Okay. Same thing with Bitcoin. Like the Bitcoin in your wallet is worth the same exact as the Bitcoin in my wallet. And they have the same purchasing power. So the value is fungible. And you really need to have fungible value when it comes to currency, when it comes to things that are interchangeable. And this is really important for utilities. So anything that's a utility that the value is not inherently in itself, but what it could do for you, then those sort of things, you need to have fungible value. Now with NFTs, it allows us to create non-fungible value, kind of like a Picasso or the Mona Lisa. Like, why is the Mona Lisa worth hundreds of millions of dollars? It's because it's a rare piece of artwork. Now, someone could take a picture of it and I could own that picture and you could own that picture and you can Google that picture and put it on and print it and put it on your wall and have a very similar experience. You can hire an artist that will copy the Mona Lisa 100% or 99.999%. They can copy it to the point you wouldn't be able to distinguish it unless you hired a professional. Yet the copy is worth a few $1,000s at most, and the original is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And the reason is because it has some sort of essential value by being an original piece of artwork. That's why the Mona Lisa is worth so much. So it's no longer about the art, but what it means. And so we're now for the first time able to do this in the digital space. And so this brings up another question that's even more important. That is like, well, why would anyone buy a piece of art or anything for that matter for an enormous amount of money, right? Like, why are people spending so much money on items instead of just buying the utility version of that item for much, much less? And so this brings us to a really important point, and that is that how we interact in the world. So as you interact in the world, you can take all the items that are in your life and you can put them in one of two categories. Either there's something that is a utility and you just use it because it's helping you get from point A to point B, helping you achieve a goal of some kind. And an example of utility might be like the taxi that you take to go downtown, right? You don't care if it's if you're in a Honda or if you're in a Hyundai or if you're in a Ford. The whole point is that you get there. Or if you're traveling and you're going to another city, like whether it's Southwest or Delta, like it doesn't matter. The price or some other thing is more important because you're using that as a utility. Okay. Now for everything else in our life, the clothes we wear, the cars that we own, the type of phone that we have, the jewelry that we wear, and so on, they're items of self-expression. And so then brand becomes very valuable. That's why you see women that spend thousands of dollars like on a Louis Vuitton purse. Like they can buy a purse for $10, but the Louis Vuitton purse is more valuable because it signifies a high value, high status item. And so we do this in the real world where we spend a lot more money, thousands of dollars extra So we can have items that are expressing who we are or ourselves to some degree. And we're using this to demonstrate our personality, to show people what our identities are about, to show people what we value. And then in the real world, when you meet somebody, more or less you could tell what they're about almost right away. Based on how they're dressed, you can kind of tell a lot about them. The way they talk, the way they move, what they're interested in. You can more or less find community just by the people that you see and the people that you have something in common with. And as you walk, in your everyday life in the real world, what happens is you don't just randomly talk to every stranger. You talk to people that you feel like you have a connection with. And so there's this element of community that comes around the idea of brand.